Guess who is back? In the house. The one and only Ojineka with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Welcome
How are
back.
you? Thank you very much. I am happy to be back.
Okay, don't let me. After the program.
Special debriefing as always. You know that. How are you? I miss you both. Really. How are you, Ayo?
Very well, thank you. I don't know what I missed more, you or Dr. Abati's introduction.
I think it was me. Yeah. Forget about Dr. Abati's introduction.
So good to see you. So good to see you. Welcome back.
But you know, I haven't seen you in a while,
yes,
so we have a lot. We have to catch up. Yes. How was Dubai?
It was good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well done. Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In Nigeria, international observers expressed disappointment in the supplementary election conducted in Adamawa State over the weekend after INEC's resident electoral commissioner for the state, Hudu Yunusa Ari, declared the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Senator Aisha Dahiru Binani, as winner of the state governorship election before the collation of results was concluded.
When I left, I was informed that we resume in the morning at 11 o'clock. And then this morning to find out that something had derailed that scheduled process at 9 o'clock was devastating, to say the least. The count was very transparent. It was going very, very well. I think that the last 10 local governments should be completed to finish off and get the true result of the election itself.
Then, a video showing officers of the Nigerian military rehearsing ahead of the presidential inauguration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May 29th at the Eagles Square in Abuja went viral over the weekend. In India, Atiq Ahmed, a former politician convicted of kidnapping, was shot dead live on television along with his brother over the weekend. Ahmed, who was under police escort, was talking to reporters when a gun was pulled close to his head in Allahabad. After the shots were fired, 3 men who had been posing as journalists quickly surrendered and were taken into custody. The 60-year-old politician, who had been facing a life sentence for kidnapping, has had dozens of cases, including murder and extortion, registered against him over the past 2 decades. Under sports, 28-year-old Chioma Onyekwere delivered a stunning performance in the women's discus throw at the Oklahoma Throw Series over the weekend in Ramona, California, achieving a massive personal best of 64.96 meters. Onyekwere, who already has a wild card to the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, with her status as African champion, also broke the 16-year-old African record set by South Africa's Elizna Naud. Her latest feat surpassed the World Championship qualification record. Then, world's fastest female hurdler, Tobiloba Amushon, competed in her first 100 meters hurdles race of 2023 at the Tom Jones Invitational in Florida, securing a second-place finish with a time of 12.59 seconds.
And the winner is...
Finally, Honor Entertainment. Nominations for the 9th edition of the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards were announced over the weekend. 14 categories were open to public voting, while 21 categories were decided by the panel of judges, headed by veteran film director, producer, and writer Femi Odugbemi. The AMVCA recognizes outstanding achievements in the African film and television industry and has become one of the most prestigious awards in the continent's entertainment industry. The awards ceremony will be held on May 20th, 2023.
God bless you guys. AMVCA, God bless you. I love you all. God bless you. Thank you.
Dr. Abati, you were clapping for Ustaz. Well, that was last year. She is your fan, isn't she? Well, I can't wait for the awards ceremony. All right, well, let's begin what's trending. With reactions trailing the controversial declaration of Aisha Binani Dahiru, candidate of the All Progressives Congress, as winner of the Adamawa State gubernatorial election before the collation of results in the state were concluded. on Sunday. Social media was awash with reactions after a video showing Hudu Yunisa Ari, the resident electoral commissioner, made the declaration to the dismay of opposition agents.
The APC support the highest vote.
No. How?
Thank you very much.
How?
Well, following the announcement, the APC governorship candidate delivered an acceptance speech while crowds of supporters trooped out to congratulate the illegally declared winner.
Adamawa stands tall on the threshold of history. My dear Adamawa State citizens and residents, I am overwhelmed and humbled by your show of love and confidence in electing me to serve as your governor as from May 29 this year and for the next 4 years. For this, I say a very big thank you.
Well, spokespersons of the All Progressives Congress, Festus Keyamo, also congratulated Binani after the declaration. Keyamo took to his official Twitter page to describe Aisha's victory as a glass-shattering watershed for Nigerian women. Well, his tweet reads, "Just woke up in the US to this wonderful news. I am screaming my head off here. This is such a glass-shattering watershed for the women of Nigeria. Huge congratulations to my sister, Senator Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed Binani. At a point in the struggle, we were speaking like a dozen times a day on the phone. Special thanks to all those who worked so hard for this. Special thanks to the good people of Adamawa State for smashing this hoodoo of gender bias. Special thanks to the APC for making this possible. Special thanks to President Muhammadu Buhari for providing such sterling leadership. Special thanks to Nigerians for your support and prayers. Now, for the women of Nigeria, please go ye forth to conquer." I mean, that would be, that. I can see you rolling your eyes, but it would have been a perfect speech if she actually was the winner. I mean, it really would have been amazing. But I mean, this is the issue with the spokespeople. I know you always have issues with the spokespeople, especially from the APC. But in the meanwhile, the INEC rec, Hidu Yunisa Ari, is reported to have been paid huge sums of money to rig the gubernatorial election in Adamawa State. In a video that made the rounds on social media on Sunday, an alleged senior DSS official who was apprehended by some young people at City Green Hotels in Yola stated that he was told to give the rec about 2 billion naira to rig the election.
National commissioners to rig an election. Neither actually billions of naira.
How many?
Let us say 2 billion.
Let us say to me kai ka a green city
ne ce ka abin da kai ne green aba ni da ba ni da
ya kai ka
na je da tim dina an ce mu zo mu arrest shi wallahi tallahi mu zo mu arrest shi ana haka je ba an ce mu zo mu arrest shi kafin da shi kafin da an ne
okay dan kai da ai ne ko
an ce mu zo mu arrest shi kafin a kai da an ne ko duk an ce ya ka kudi
da shi da waye
to ni ba sani ba an ce mu su biyu wallahi ba sani ba.
Well, meanwhile, a Professor Abdullahi Abdul Zuru, the present INEC Commissioner Northwest and former Vice-Chancellor of Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, and Federal University of Technology, Mina, who was sent to Adamawa State as part of INEC's supervisory activities, was attacked by a mob who mistook him for the Adamawa State rec, Barrister Hudu Yunisa Ari, for illegally returning Aisha Dahiru Binani as governor-elect.
Now, just wear your trouser, wear your trouser. Now,
over 60 years now.
Now, Baba. Break na Adamawa shine hudu. But the returning officer, they have sent. The returning officer, they are
This was frustrating to
Yes.
watch. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, really? This man has
Such
been
an
disgraced.
embarrassment,
But
yes, a
this is
disgrace.
so unfair that this happened to this man. And why? Because INEC dropped the ball again.
Well,
Ayo, please, your comment.
Yes, INEC dropped the ball royally in Adamawa State over the weekend, as within other states, because there are 24 states where supplementary elections were held over the weekend. But Adamawa State is in the spotlight because of what a number of people have described as a naked dance in the marketplace, a royal show of shame, the highlight of the drama amongst dramas that have occurred in the elections this year, and INEC not being ready, as they assured Nigerians, in the days leading to the elections. But speaking to Professor Zuru, yes, INEC was complicit. INEC was, not complicit, but INEC can be looked at as not producing an election that people can write home about. However, it is no justification for people to take matters into their own hands and beat up a man who then turns out to be innocent, such that they stripped him of his dignity, stripped him of his, of any sense of dignity, really. As we're speaking earlier on to Mr. Osaze Uzi, earlier on, he had talked about the fact that this is even a discouragement for people who, because this is a professor, a former VC of a university, who has been so disgraced nationally in this way and in this manner. He's been summoned to the INEC office this morning alongside the REC who announced the illegal results. And going back to the earlier, what you had mentioned earlier on, let me speak to, because I know Doctor would speak to the illegality of what was done on Saturday. But let me speak to Mr. Festus Keyamo and Senator Binani. First of all is that Senator Binani must have known that, number one, results were not fully collated, therefore they shouldn't have called on a winner. Second of all, that the person who announced her as winner was not legally or constitutionally, there was no constitutional provision for him to announce her as winner, so illegal on all fronts. Therefore, she coming out very quickly to give an acceptance speech in itself is very suspect. And the fact that she's a serving senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so she should know better. It just demonstrates the fact that politicians in Nigeria, unfortunately, are desperate for power enough to not mind the process, or whether it's legal or illegal, the fact that they just announce, and then anything you want to do, the very famous saying, go to court, is what they would just announce me and let everybody else go to court. And then I feel very sad as a woman because it puts a blight on what a number of people have said should be a process where women around Nigeria should be very jubilant about the fact that we could potentially produce the first elected female governor of a state, a northern state for that matter, in Nigeria. It rubbishes the process and it almost takes away the shine of that golden moment. And then Mr. Festus Keyamo, as an SA and a senior advocate of Nigeria, a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a man who is learned by every sense, in every sense and by every word, coming out to celebrate and talk about an illegality in itself is one that he should probably delete his Twitter handle and not tweet for a while. It is disgraceful. Unfortunately, it is quite disgraceful, and a lot more is expected from him.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of these, actually. I mean, this is, I think it's still up there, Dr. Abati.
Well, just to say this, Festus Keyamo allowed his emotions to get ahead of him. He could give the excuse that he was in the US, different time zones, because he had been cited at the spring meetings of the IMF
that's what he said in
World
the tweets.
Bank.
Yeah.
And, maybe because of time difference, he probably did not know what was going on exactly at home. The excitement that he has shown, if the lady had actually won, it would have been properly placed. After all, there were many other persons, even during the initial election that was inconclusive, who had already started congratulating her.
Yes.
But Festus Keyamo, having now been fully apprised of the situation, and given his status as a legal practitioner, one would have expected that 24 hours later, he would have deleted that particular tweet. I wouldn't say his entire Twitter account, but that particular tweet. But I checked, it is still there. And that is what even makes it, really embarrassing. Now, the second issue about Mrs. Aisha Dahiru. I think Mrs. Aisha Dahiru, popularly known as Binani, owes the people of Adamawa State, and indeed the people of Nigeria, an apology for delivering an acceptance speech that may not work eventually when the entire process is concluded. Because as at the point the Collation Center went on recess and said they would reconvene at 11. The Fintri, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, was leading with 31,496 votes in 7 out of the 10 local governments that had been declared so far. There were still 10 local government areas to be declared. And the candidate of the APC, having our own, agents, party agents at the Collation Center, could not have pretended that she wasn't aware that that process had not been concluded. So what do we say to all of this? There is need for investigation, thorough investigation of what happened, and allegations that money exchange hands and all of that will require investigation, thorough investigation. Now, having done the investigations, we'll expect that persons should be sanctioned. The Uduari, the resident electoral commissioner who went and engaged in this act of impunity, has been told to report to the INEC headquarters in Abuja. But another report has said that he is at large. I think he should be immediately declared a wanted person if he does not show up. Because, as I have pointed out earlier on this program, there are so many infractions of the law with specific penalties prescribed in the Electoral Act under Section 120, subsection 4. And also, if you check the Criminal Code, Section 294, you are not allowed to cause a breach of the public peace. It caused a breach of public peace. Yes. And it caused damages.
Absolutely.
And that takes me to the professor, the national commissioner. I think INEC should learn its own lessons from here. Better protection should be provided for INEC officials on the field. The professor, Professor Zulu, he was not even at the place where the crime was committed, but he was the one that aggrieved persons saw. Very and they said, sad. Oh, this is the INEC man. And they subjected him to bodily harm. Even if it was Udu Hari, the alleged offender that was apprehended, we do not recommend jungle justice. Jungle justice is unacceptable. Nobody should be subjected to extrajudicial punishment. So that is the point there. And INEC has issued a statement to say that they're going to take up the matter and ensure that the security agencies prosecute the persons who are responsible for the assault on that former vice chancellor. However, the security agencies themselves are part of the problem.
Yeah.
Was it not a DSS official that you showed in that video who was being queried? Was it not the police commissioner and other policemen who were reported to have provided protection for Uduari, the man who illegally announced a result? So this is the problem. There should be a general probe. And it's not just INEC, the Inspector General of Police, the other security agencies should ensure that people who have tried to derail the process are brought to book. And finally, INEC must show good faith in ensuring that the process is concluded.
Yeah. We
cannot have double inconclusive election, whether in Adamawa or elsewhere. The due process should continue, and the properly, validly elected person should be duly announced. And all the stakeholders in Adamawa should be advised that the entire country is watching them, and we do not want the kind of impunity, the kind of criminality, the kind of desperation that we have seen in Adamawa. The only people that will gain from this will probably be the people in Nollywood who would find this very good stuff for future entertainment.
I mean, I can't even describe it as entertainment. It is quite shocking, very embarrassing. I'm embarrassed as a Nigerian for this to be happening. I mean, there is clear indication. We have videos. We had that DSS, alleged DSS officer who said that, who claimed that he was paid 2 billion naira, and then we're still here. No one's been apprehended at this point. Well, in the same vein, reports indicating that the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, won the February 25th presidential election in Obiokpo, local government area of Rivers State, according to reports uploaded on the INEC results viewing portal. IREV has made the rounds on social media. Ayo, Dr. Abati, this same report, I mean, we are having the same information about INEC's, what would I even call it at this point? I don't even know what to use to describe INEC at this. Is it ineptitude?
Corruption?
I mean, what can we use to describe INEC at this point? There is reports of rigging in Rivers State. I mean, the numbers are huge. I don't know if you saw that report. And then we are not even hearing anything at this point from INEC. Why is Adamawa State different from Rivers State, Dr. Abati?
Well, I mean, in this particular case, this report from Obiakpo local government, by the way, that's the local government area of the governor of Rivers State, and also from Degema, is the report of investigation carried out by Premium Times, a newspaper. And what Premium Times did was to just
tabulate the report,
compare what is reported in the INEC reporting portal, IREV, with what was announced on election day. And they pointed out discrepancies in that regard. So you give them credit for investigative journalism. However, the matter of the election has gone to the tribunal.
Yes.
Petitions have been filed, cross petitions have been filed. So the evidence that is available is now for the lawyers to present before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. But I always say it, in election matters, what is required is substantial compliance.
Right.
So once INEC can prove substantial compliance, well, that's where, the fireworks will probably begin.
Well, all right. We shall take our final story. Independent journalist David Hundeyin set social media buzz over the weekend after he uploaded images of a Guinean diplomatic passport bearing Bola Ahmed Tinubu's details on his Twitter account. The passport also carried Tinubu's image and appears to have been issued in October 2015 with the expiration date of October 2020. David reported that the passport was apparently issued to Tinubu while his ally, Alpha Conde, was Guinean president. Tinubu had publicly claimed credit for helping Conde secure re-election in October 2015. Tinubu, whose emergence as president-elect has been challenged by Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, and Peter Obi, candidate of the Labour Party, has had numerous allegations of corruption and illicit activities levied against him. The latest disclosure that the president-elect obtained Guinean citizenship, however, has met a strident silence from his spokespeople who have previously been quick to defend him, while users on social media have shared mixed reactions. Let's take some tweets. This is from Spotlight, who wrote, Tinubu met his friend and brother, President Conde, in May 2015. Tinubu in June 2015 visited Conakry, Guinea, to assist in the elections. October 6, 2015, a Guinean passport was issued to Tinubu. Nigerian law doesn't allow the president to naturalize in another country. Well, Pastor wrote, David Hundeyin claimed Tinubu is female. He claimed Tinubu is 87 years old. He claimed Tinubu is Amanda Ogunlere. He claimed Tinubu didn't attend university. He has now defeated his previous claim by saying Tinubu is from Guinea. This isn't journalism. This is borderline insanity. As you know, Dr. Abati and Ayo, David Hundeyin has been very, popular in, reporting, criminality or fraud against Tinubu. This is the latest one. Really quickly, if you can answer this question, Dr. Abati, because you are a lawyer, there is the conversation whether, if you are a dual citizen, you cannot be president of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Whoever has evidence, whoever is agreed, go to court.
Absolutely, as always. Well, thank you both. Again, for your great analysis on what's trending. I'm happy to be back. Well,
yeah, I'm glad to have you back.
Yes. Well, that's all I have for you guys on what's trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.